Now, I can't speak for every prison around the world, but I can speak for the prisons that I've been to. One of the worst things that you have to deal with when you are incarcerated is the food that they give you. So can you actually survive just off the food that is given to you inside the chow hall? I'm not talking about Canteen and Commissary. I'm talking about the food that they supply you on your tray, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Haha, dog the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with a lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2, cause violent first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Today I'm going to be speaking on surviving on prison food. And I'm not talking about commissary and canteen. I'm talking strictly on the food that they give you in the chow hall. Okay? I'm going to let y'all know how it is at all the institutions I went to as far as when it went down to the food. That shit, if I had to rate it out of a 0 and 10, I give that shit a 2. You're lucky if it's a 2, all right? You ain't supposed to enjoy the food that they give you. I can't speak for everywhere around the world, but down here in Florida where I'm from, I know the food they give you in the chain gang, it's better than the food they give you in the county, but it still ain't worth eating. You understand? It ain't like you're gonna go there and you're gonna enjoy it. You feel me? You gotta just down that shit. A lot of it be slop, a lot of it be trash. You know what I'm saying? Tuesdays you get chicken, but can you actually survive off of it? Yeah, you can. But I'll tell you one thing, though. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be losing weight. You're going to be so damn hungry. While I was in confinement is when it would hit me the most. Even though I had canteen and shit throughout my bid, you know, stupid duffels, stupid amount of money. Canteen, chips, soups, chilies, mackerels, tunas, honey buns. You know what I'm saying? Everything you could think of. Ran through it all several times. But I still had days where I didn't have none. Still had time where I wasn't able to hit the canteen window or still wasn't able to get shit sent back there to me. I literally been starving. Okay? I know how it feels to literally have to survive off of those meals. When they pop that flap and they bring you that breakfast tray in the morning, you don't even want to eat it. But you know your stomach's going to be growling. You know what I'm saying? You better go ahead and eat it. Your stomach's already touching your back, so you might as well go ahead and consume it while you can. And depending on which camp you're at, in confinement, your tray may be a little more heftier compared to the ones that they actually give you on the compound. You feel me? It might have a little bit of more weight to it. You know, it's kind of like in the county jail, they call them lockdown trays. A lockdown tray is a big old stupid styrofoam filled, you know, but it isn't enjoyable. It ain't like you're gonna be sitting there, you know, chopping it up and smashing that shit, you know what I'm saying, eating it like you would, like you sitting there talking to your homeboys and shit like you enjoying it. You feel me? Like you at Japan Inn or something. No, it isn't gonna be like that. You gonna just hurry up and try to get that shit over with. And 9 times out of 10, the shit you eat gonna go right through you. Mess your stomach up, have you on the toilet, shitting for hours. Feel me? Because the stuff they give you could be better, but you know they take the cheap route. You know what I'm saying? And when you get it, it's bland. If you ain't got something to add to it, it's bland. I don't care if it's the main course, the vegetables, the piece of cake they give you on the side. No matter what it is, it isn't going to be to where you're like, oh, this shit's gas. You might be like, all right, it's busting just because it tastes a little different than what you had on your last tray. But when it comes to surviving off of it, when you ain't got canteen, you can't get commissary, you cannot hit the window, you cannot eat or drink anything other than what they give you, you're going to find yourself losing weight. Now, if you're someone that did a lot of drugs on the streets, you know what I'm saying, a lot of partying, stuff like that, then maybe your appetite, you know, wasn't really, you know, what it should have been. So you may gain weight when you're locked up. You feel me? Because I've seen a lot of people that, you know, they're skinny as hell on the streets, and then they get locked up, and then they come out and they swear they're big now, and, you know, even if they didn't work out, they kind of like bulked up. People tell them, oh, you look healthy now and all this. Really because they ain't on no drugs that they was on the streets. You feel me? But then when you got someone that really wasn't on drugs like that, or was eating what he wanted to eat, or was hanging out, or was drinking a lot, or whatever, you know, that was kind of big on the streets, they might lose weight when they're locked up. Like me, for instance. I weighed 230 pounds when I got locked up. 230. 230. By the time I came home from prison, I was 175. Straight up. I remember I could put my arm behind my back like this, and when I leaned forward, I could see both my shoulder blades back there. I was like, damn, looking on the little piece of metal that's supposed to be your mirror in your cell. I'm like, damn, boy, they got me back here looking anorexic, you know? And a lot of that has to do with trying to live off of the food that they give you. Because they give you just enough food to where you're not full. You feel me? See, on the streets, you eat stuff until you're full, you know? And there, they give you enough to where it'll hold you over to the next meal. Your stomach will be growling, and you'll be notified that you are hungry right around next chow time. You feel me? Doesn't mean you can't eat more than what they provide. Because, of course, like I said, you're not full. But even if you came home from prison or the county jail and you decided to eat the same things that you ate when you was locked up, the same exact things, you're going to find yourself still gaining weight. You feel me? In there, I used to lose weight. You feel me? County jail, I got a 60 every week. I got a 60 because you were able to get 60s at this time in your account, and then you could get a pack. You feel me? So I used to get $60 worth of Canteen and a pack and eat all the items and all the damn trays they throw at me. And I still would find myself losing weight because my metabolism was constantly going. You feel me? I came home from the county jail and I tried to eat the same shit that they used to feed us. They used to give us 2 sandwiches a day, every day. Bologna 5 days a week, peanut butter and jelly the other 2. So I figured I'm going to try to eat the same shit for lunch that they would feed me in there to see if I could keep this weight off. And you know what happened? I started gaining weight. Because you would eat on the streets until you were full. And there they give you just enough, you know, to hold you off, you know. But me being in confinement so many times and me knowing how it feels to want, you know, something to eat, and the things that I would eat that I wouldn't want to eat on the streets, lets me know that it is hard to survive just off of the food they give you. You get what I'm saying? The calorie count that they give you throughout the day is the exact amount that your body intake should take. You know what I'm saying? They usually have a menu up in each dorm, and if you look on the dorm, it has the calorie breakdown to where at the end of the day, it's the same amount of calories that you're normally supposed to take. And they have to do that. It's per code. They got to make sure they're at least feeding you around that much. You feel me? But you're going to find yourself going to chow, and I guarantee you, out of something on your tray, there's going to be something there you're not going to eat. There's going to be things that you ain't even going to want to touch, you know? I've been to the point to where I learned to eat shit that I never had before just by going to prison. Feel me? Okra. Like, I've had fried okra on the streets, but they was giving us okra inside of confinement for like 3 months straight one time when I was in prison. Them shits was all little slimy looking things, and you open it up, it got little beads all in it and shit like that. It looked like something you see out of the movie Alien vs. Predator. Them shits was all slimy and gooey looking, you know, and every bunkie I had would not eat it. Me, you know, I took the taste test. I went, you know, feel me? And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't good, but it was consumable. So I'd smash that okra after I tried it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Sardines. Even though that they don't give you that in prison, they give it to you on Commissary, on Canteen. You know, you can purchase it, and they give it out to actual people who are on diets, like CFO or RDP, which is Religious Diet Program. You feel me? Which is people who don't eat the normal trays like we would. They get like a bag lunch, and it has a pack of sardines in there. You see what I'm saying? I was starving so much at the point to where I decided to eat sardines. You know what I'm saying? And this was on my last box bid. The one that I got shipped for. The Kfrogtv one. You feel me? And I turned down so many goulages that had sardines in it. If it had sardines in it and I knew, I wouldn't want it. Even though there really wasn't no difference from sardines and tuna. There's fish in it. You know, or mackerel. You know, there's fish in it. But at the end of the day, I was starving so much and I had so many packs of sardines in my cell that I decided to try them shits. And I tell you what, I love sardines till today, bro. Believe it or not. But I only found this out because I was starving in confinement. For real. You know, they give you stuff on your tray. You can't return your tray. You can't ask for a bigger one. You can't ask for more. You can't ask for another one if something on yours is messed up. Which means if they give you 2 pieces of bread and one of them pieces of bread has mold all on it, you sit down, you go to eat, and they're going to tell you to throw that out. It ain't like you can be like, man, my bread's got mold on it. And in confinement, you can holler at the officer about that. You know, say, hey, man, my bread's got mold on. You know what I'm saying? But they'll be like, all right, I'm going to go get you some more. Skirt, gone. You ain't coming back there. All the chow hall was closed. Just being real with you. Or when you get the 2 pieces of bread sitting on your tray, 9 times out of 10, same thing with the cake. Same thing with the cake. That shit be stuck to your vegetables. So that bottom half of the cake or that bottom piece of bread is fully soaked in vegetable juice. You see? So it's kind of hard to eat a piece of bread that's, you know, soaked and soggy and wet in some shit that tastes like carrots and green beans. Or, you know what I'm saying, collard greens or whatever it may be that they put on there that day for vegetables. You see what I'm saying? So it's really miserable trying to survive just off of the food that they give you in the chow hall. Now don't get me wrong, certain camps you go to, they gonna hook it up because it's all on who's working in the kitchen. You know, these are inmates that are back there whipping that shit up. Them Chef Boyardees back there, that's inmates. So if the inmates, you know, are just doing their job just to do their time and then go back to the dorm, then, you know, it ain't gonna be as good as someone that's actually, you know, doing that emerald shit, that BAM! Or whatever he says when he throws the seasoning and shit. If they ain't trying to whip that shit, if they ain't cooking it like they're eating it, then you're in for a long, long, miserable bid if you ain't got no commissary. If you ain't got no canteen, no money in your account to where you can get shit to eat, then you're going to feel like a bottom feeder. Literally. Because they give you so many things that could be enjoyable, but they're not. Literally. It made it to where, check this out. My county jail, like I said, gives you bologna 5 days a week for lunch, peanut butter and jelly for the other 2. It made it to where when I was in prison, I missed bologna. Because on our trays in Florida, we get a bologna sandwich 2 times a month. You know what I'm saying? And it's literally like, to I'd say 85% of the people in prison, it's literally like the worst meal for everybody. And the reason for that is because it's such a skimp meal. And you know what they give you? They give you yellow grits. They be runny as hell or they be dry and stiff. With a scoop of black beans and a bologna sandwich. That'll be either your lunch or your dinner. One's for lunch, one's for dinner. Out of the 2 times they give it to you a month. You feel me? And you'd see majority of the compound don't even go to chow on that day. They feel like that's a tray not worth going for. You feel me? I, on the other hand, missed getting sandwiches. So I was happy with it. You know what I'm saying? I'll go there, boy, and I'll smash that bologna. I grew up on that shit. I grew up eating bologna in my neighborhood even before I went to the county jail. The one with the red string around that bitch. You feel me? You yank that bitch off and then you take the little pieces off of the string. If that's what I grew up eating. So once I went to the county, it fit right with me. You know, a lot of people would complain about it. You know, that's what they give you, and at the end of the day, you can't do shit about it. You feel me? This day house, you just a tenant at the moment. So you can't change the menu. And the menus in the Florida DOC have been the same for decades. Don't get me wrong, they've changed a couple things, but it's still the same. You know, it used to be better back in the day from what I heard from the old timers, from people who went to prison back in the 80s and the 90s. I heard it used to be way better than what it is now. And as much money as they get per inmate, like being in there and stuff, taxes and all this different shit, you would think they would feed you better. But, of course, they're not going to. Literally, because you're not supposed to enjoy it. If you was getting fed fucking 5-star meals and getting fed at least a 3-star up meal, you know, you would feel like prison ain't that bad to be. You know, it wouldn't be that bad of a place to go to if they was feeding you that well. You know, they be feeding you some shit to where the MREs that military people get, them shits is even better than what we get in prison. But they deserve better because they're soldiers. They, you know, they went to war for us, for Americans. You feel me? So they deserve better than inmates regardless. But the fact is, if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no canteen, no commissary, no homeboys, nobody that's looking out for you or nothing like that, and you land in prison and you have to survive off the meals that they give you, you're either gonna lose weight, you're gonna be miserable, you might start stealing, you might start robbing, you might start killing, whatever it is. And it's going to all be behind the hunger that's inside of you. For real. Because, like I said, when I was in prison, I had a choice to eat the chow hall food or not. But then I also had times where I didn't have a choice. You feel me? Like, I literally didn't go to chow for like a year straight. And because I had it made. I had lockers filled with Canteen. You know? Living off of corner store food, chips and shit. Faithfully. But then when you're in confinement, you know, no matter how much money you got, no matter how much pool you have, how good your face card is to where you can get shit back there, there's going to be times to where you can't control what officers are on shift at the moment. You can't control what officers let people slide back there to drop you off some food. Or you can't control what officers got it locked down to where there is no way possible that you are going to get anything back there that you're used to getting. You feel me? That's the thing. It don't matter how plugged in you are and how much money you have or how many inmates you're cool with or how many people will faithfully bring you something to eat. You can't control it when you're inside of a cell, inside of a dorm with 30 more cells, inside of a quad with double steel locked doors, inside of a hallway with another set of double locked doors. You feel me? There's no way you can really control that. So there's been times where I've literally been in confinement starving. And I've eaten shit that I've never would eat before. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that they used to give us on our tray that I was iffy about eating was squash and zucchini. Now, on the streets, I've seen squash and zucchini before I went to prison. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, like cut up and then they fry it and stuff like that. Or cut it up and dice it up and it's in chunks. That shit's good. But in prison, they just give it to you boiled. And it's boiled so much that it's like stringy. Feel me? It's just soggy as hell. Looks like cucumbers that are melted. Is exactly what it looks like. You feel me? And it's like a soup that they give you. And it's just like a big old clunk. You feel me? Nobody that I was in the cell with ate that at all. Here goes Frog. Boy, let me get that squash. You see? I used to smash that shit. I used to tear it up. You feel me? Because, you know, I knew at the end of the day, it wasn't that bad when I ate it. You feel me? It was like, wasn't good, but it was consumable enough. You feel me? And I know at the end of the day, it's only 2 extra bites than what I got on my tray. But them 2 extra bites might hold me off another 5-10 minutes longer than normal. You see? But as far as surviving on just that type of food they give you, you better hope you got some hidden soup packets. You feel me? Because that seasoned pack goes a long way in prison. That's why when you walk to the chow hall, you see seasoned pack wrappers everywhere on the compound. When you walk inside the chow hall, there'd be leftover seasoned packs on the table that the people left for the next people that are coming. You see people right here where they got the little ID clip that holds their ID. You'll see behind the clip, you'll see a rolled up seasoned pack. So it's clipped shut with their ID. Because that shit is so bland and non-enjoyable. You feel me? It isn't like mashed potatoes. Who don't like mashed potatoes, right? Well, the potatoes you get in prison, and they're going to potato you to death. You get potatoes on your breakfast tray. And it's supposed to be kind of like them scallop potatoes, you know, the ones that are like circle and flat, and they usually got cheese and shit on them. Well, it's those. But they're like not even fully cooked, and they're dry as hell. You see? So if you ain't got something to add to that shit, then it's literally like you could pick them up one potato at a time and eat it. You see, it isn't like enjoyable. And then if it is mashed, it's going to be like clunked chunks, hard, still raw pieces all throughout. It isn't like real deal mashed potatoes. The only time we get that is like on a holiday plate. Then that's when you taste like, oh boy, these bitches might not be real. They might be, you know, instant potatoes, but they better than the ones we've been eating all year. They're going to potato you to death. They're going to bean you to death. Feel me? We get beans all the time in prison. Straight up. No matter what comes on your tray, 9 times out of 10, there is beans on there. And I did a video before how I cracked my tooth because there was a rock in my beans when I was in confinement. You feel me? So there's certain things that you're going to have to get used to. You feel me? A lot of the stuff that they give you as far as like vegetables, carrots, and stuff like that is shit that's grown right there on the compound. You know what I'm saying? They would literally have a garden and have inmates that work garden and be over there cutting and that shit and everything like that. You feel me? So I've seen some carrots that were like the size of Shaq's foot. A carrot, bruh. Big ass huge carrots, like things I've never seen in real life. Cause you know when you go to the damn grocery store, they got bags of carrots and shit. They might got some long ones and stuff like that or whatever. But I'm talking about I've seen ones that were like this big, like that fucking thick, bro. Like a cinder block, a carrot, bro. Like, and they got people in there cutting that bitch up and they just throw it on your tray. One of the desserts that they give you, which I don't even know how it's a dessert, but instead of them giving you a cake on this day, on the menu, it'll say carrot coins. And the reason they call them that is because it's cut up in circles so it looks like a coin. But it'd be big old thick ass raw carrots. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how's that a dessert? You feel me? Literally. On the menu, it'll say brownie, chocolate brownie. Like we're supposed to get a chocolate brownie. They don't give you no damn chocolate brownie. They gonna give you a chocolate piece of cake. You feel me? If ever it's chocolate brownie day and they do give you a chocolate item, it's gonna be a piece of cake, right? It's not gonna be a brownie, but we probably got the chocolate cake probably 4 times out of my whole bid in prison. You know what I'm saying? And what it is it's just the cake. You feel me? It's like if you baked a fucking knockoff chocolate cake in the oven and took it out and cut it in chunks and handed it out. No icing. The other cakes we get be having icing and stuff on it, but it's just like a buttercream icing, you know, but you ain't gonna get 9 times out of 10 what it shows on that menu. You feel me? Sometimes you read that menu and be like, oh, boy, we got damn Mexican pizza for dinner. Wow, let's go over here and get this Mexican pizza. And I swear, I only got Mexican pizza 2 times ever in prison. On Mexican Pizza Day. One time I got it, shit was gas. Next time I got it, it was literally like they took 2 pieces of bread and put a bunch of like pizza meat, spaghetti meat on top of that motherfucker and a bunch of shredded cheese. That was it. So it like sunk and made the bread all soggy. And then the cheese was that knockoff cheese, the one that don't melt, it just gets hard. So that shit's all on the tray everywhere, laying there, looks like sprinkles. See what I'm saying? You're not going to enjoy living off of just that food they give you in there. So yeah, it's better make sure you have some type of support system, some type of plan. You know, when you're on the streets thugging it and you get into shit, you know, a lot of people forget to, you know, put that lawyer money and that bond money to the side, right? Well, shit, I'm going to be real with you. If you're truly out there thugging it and the shit you doing comes with time, you better not only put that lawyer and bond money to the side, you better put that canteen and commissary portion over there as well. Because I'll tell you what, it'll make your bid a whole lot easier as far as eating wise. But then again, you know, you're going to have them goons, them gorillas on your ass about that food because everybody want to come up on Canteen, everybody want to rob because they're hungry. They don't have what you have. And if you think about it, if you got 100 people in this room right here, and only 20 of them have extra food, Do you think them 20 people are actually safe? No. There's going to be a handful of people out of them 80 other people that want to take what them 20 people have. Feel me? Think about it. But anyways, y'all, that's what this video is about today. It's about surviving off of prison food, Canteen, and Commissary Excluded. I'm talking about the shit they give you in the chow hall. That mystery meat. Them soy patties. Even though on Thursdays they do give you a real beef patty. But all them other ones, soy patty. Feel me? I was in there when they took out the good patties and they was giving us these patties that were pure white. Pure white, y'all. And people were smashing them shit, tearing them up. And what it is you just cope with eating shit because you have to eat, rather than eating what you want to eat, what you enjoy. You feel me? Literally. My first time I ate sardines, I was starving, y'all. And I've told this plenty of times. I had packs and packs of sardines and would slide them under the door. While in confinement, I was on the top tier. I would get a book, open the book in half like this, and put it under my door to make a ramp, and I would slide them sardines up the book under my door. Swoop! And they'd land down there. Pat! Whole fucking echo go through the quad. And I'd get on the door. Free fish on the market, free fish on the market, get it while you can. And everybody would be sending their line out there really fishing for some fish. You feel me? And I'd sit back and watch. It was like my excitement. But then, you know, I was starving. Feel me? And I was like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna tear one up. I'm gonna eat this shit. And I tried it and it was gas. And to this day, I tell you what, the first time I ate sardines, there was two ways. On a cracker with mustard, right? Seems normal, but you know the mustard's gonna overpower it, so you're barely gonna taste the fish. You feel me? But the way it is really, really good is on a cracker with jelly. Believe it or not. If you like sardines, eat it on a cracker with jelly. I guarantee you, you're gonna be like, boy, this some exotic shit. You may never eat sardines without jelly again. I know it sounds bad, it sounds harsh, but hey, it is what it is. I love that shit, you know? And I only had the sardines because my bunkie owed me like fucking 15 trays at the time. But he was like flight risk because he was about to get back out and go on the compound. I was back there for Kfrogtv. I had 270 plus days back there. So I knew I wasn't going nowhere. So his days to get out were shorter than how many trays he owed me. And then here at lunch, he gets a CFO, the RDP bags that I was telling y'all about that came with sardines. So after a while, I was like, you know what? Because I was only taking his breakfast because he got cereal with a little pack of powdered milk. So I would only take the breakfast trays. But if he were to get out, he would have still owed me like 10 trays. So instead, I would take the breakfast tray and the lunch. I started taking the sardines for the hell of it and just started fishing them out to people out there. And have my bunkie back here, stomach growling with me. You feel me? His stomach be growling and shit, and my stomach be growling. I'm using his fish to fucking throw out there for entertainment. You know, and then I decided to try it. And when I did, I tell you what, I was impressed. But as far as surviving off of that prison food, I don't wish that on nobody, man, because I'm telling you, it isn't easy. It is definitely tough. And I feel like even if they gave you more, they should cook it better. You know what I'm saying? Throw some type of seasoning in there so that shit ain't as bland it is. For real, because that shit there, boy, is like biting into a fucking cloud. And you don't even know what a cloud tastes like. That's exactly what the meals taste like right there. Air. But anyways, y'all make sure y'all drop that shit in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. If the food was good where you was at, let me know. But 9 times out of 10, if it was, it's because of who made it. It's because you had faithful inmates that wanted to cook that shit as if they were going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like the prison alone supplied awesome food. No, it's because them inmates was flicker the wrist. They was putting in that work back there for real in that kitchen. But alright, y'all, I'm going to wrap this one on up. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe button on the way out if you ain't hit it on the way in. And make sure you keep them squares, rats, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, clowns, fake ass clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this the one and only Frog.